All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Harakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopefully elect. Coming at you with another quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahushai. I'm going to start at the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 15. It says, "The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going." And a lot of congregations got a lot of members who are simple. Okay, and they believe every word without doing the actual studying themselves. Okay, they believe what their leaders teach without actually going forward and looking into it themselves. Like our apostles and elders has always said, even from the beginning, when I first learned this truth, which was about 7 years ago. One of the things that stood out to me is they always said, "Don't believe me, do your own research, look it up." They have always said that, and when the things that they have said, and I looked up myself, it was correct, So I thought that was dope through the spirit that they always said, look it up. So we wouldn't just believe their word, but we would look it up and see if it was true for ourselves. All right. Let's see, the Lord, I think it's 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 33, it says, "For the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the churches of the saints." And you got a lot of confusion going on about right now, dealing with, I'll just call it a group out. As you can see, it's all happening. As you see the body, the churches of Great Millstone, defending the gospel, because you got these guys out here who goes by the name of Wi-Fi, Watchman of Israel, teaching, contrary to what the MOTB actually is, and as they were asked to address what is the MOTB, or what is their stance on the MOTB, what is the beast, and everything, they deflected and went into a slander campaign, which you can see. All right, they put up I guess they did a sit down, and I know they have a preview of the sit down, like a title of it, which says it said the Great Mess Doctrine, and it mentioned prostitution. Can we deal with white women, rape, and I forget and something about, I forget how they worded it, but something about wearing fringes. And many brothers spoke with these topics. You can check on brothers' pages, and see how brothers went into these different various things that they spoke about. Now, through the spirit, I'm gonna deal with rape. Concerning rape, right? The Heavenly Father has a law in place, for everything. There's a law in place, for the things that need be, just like how E has a law, Now, concerning this manner of rape and how to deal with it, we have broke this down numerous of times, but yet you got Israelites, still being on a emotional tip about it. Still using the emotions of people of the world that doesn't understand the true ancient biblical view on how things were done in an ancient world. Now let's get this real fast. The book of Job, chapter 8, verse 8, it says, "For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers," right? And in the search of our fathers, you will understand the way of our fathers and how they did things. Now we always mention, are these things we will do today? No. Let's get this precept. It says lawful unto. So Paul mentions it right here in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 12. It says, "All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any." Now, there's a lot of things in the scriptures that are lawful for us to do according to the law, right? But these things we cannot do because these things are not expedient unto us. We're not in our own land. We're not sovereign. We're in captivity. And the law, our law is not set up in this land to be executed. Because a lot of things, let's just say Leviticus 20 verse 13, would it be lawful? According to the Bible, would these things be lawful? Would it be righteous judgment? Let us say, better yet, should I say yes, right? But these things you cannot do. You see, these things are lawful unto you, but it's not expedient. So we're not saying go out and do these things, but we will give you the history of these things, or these different various things that have took place, right? And that if this was a righteous society would take place. This is what we're saying. We're not actually saying go out and do these things, but we are giving you the history on it in our ancient biblical customs. So when you talk about fringes, right, and a ribbon of borders of blue, isn't that one of our ancient customs? Yes, but is that something we can keep here in the society? Yes, so we do it. They're not gonna get in trouble wearing your border of blue and fringes. Now, can it make you make you a target? Yeah, it can. Okay, it can do that. But if you decide to do it, you're not wrong for doing that. If that's what you choose to do. Me, myself, personally, I'm not wearing that outside everywhere I go. I'm not wearing that to work, and all around the city and putting that target on my back. No. Okay? I understand the spiritual warfare that we are in. Okay? I'm being a sheep amongst wolves. Right? But a lot of you people want to be over righteous. Okay, whatever. But then you harp on the law, and this and that. Right? But there's other things you want to dismiss. Like this law that I'm about to bring out in Deuteronomy the 22nd chapter, and try to make it seem as if this was a bad thing that took place. This is how the Lord wanted things to be set up. Right? Are you ashamed? That's the question I gotta ask to you Israelites out there. Are you ashamed of what's being spoken about in Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter? Huh? Because that's what it seems like. That you're ashamed of our ancient biblical customs concerning RAPE. Because that's what y'all all try to bring out to try to slander us, when y'all can't handle the questions that is presented to you, or if y'all going off on doctrine and you don't like the way we getting on y'all, rebuking y'all, correcting y'all. This is what y'all go do. And honestly, concerning the leader of that group, I thought you had more honor than that. But, hey, whatever. So let's get to the point. So let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter, verse... So let's start at verse 13. It says, if any man take a wife and go into her and hate her and give occasions of speech against her and bring up an evil name upon her and say, I took this woman when I came to her, but I found her not a maid. Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city and the gate. Why was this so important? Because their daughter, basically he was saying their daughter wasn't pure, their daughter wasn't a virgin, and that she basically played the harlot. So he didn't have he didn't take her virginity, right? Which, if the daughter was to play be a whore, a hoe, a thought, what they would call in society, what would happen to her? She would be stoned. But guess what? The father and the mother had the tokens of her virginity, okay, to back it up, right? For this various reason, if someone decided he didn't want to be with their daughter no more and just make up an occasion like this. But that occasion that he was about to make up would have got her put to death. Even when you go back to the story with Yahawah's father, Joseph, and Mary. He didn't handle everything in a due process as he was supposed to, right? So when it was becoming that time, right, Mary wouldn't have looked like a virgin, and Mary would have got stoned. Okay, because there's a law in Israel on adultery, of what would take place if you commit adultery. You know? So verse 16, it says, and the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hated her. And lo, he have given occasion to speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. See, I got proof that my daughter is a virgin. And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city, and the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him, and they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he have brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife, and he may not put her away all his days. Right? So there wouldn't be a lot of hopscotching that you see going on now in the society, with men just jumping from women to women, if our law was intact, or if this was a righteous society. You wouldn't see men, all this adultery being committed all around the world, especially within our nation, right? If our righteous law was intact, if we was in a righteous society, this wouldn't take place. This is what the earth needs. Okay? Righteous order established back on the planet Earth. Okay? Verse 20, but if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel, then shall they what? Bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall what? Look at the judgment she about to get. Stone her with stones that she die, because she have wrought folly. This is folly in Israel. To play what? To play the whore in her father's house. So shall thou put evil away from among you. This is evil. The Lord considers adultery an evil work. That's why it was punishable by death. Verse 22. If a man be found lying with a woman married to a husband, then both of them die, both the man that lay with the woman and the woman. So shall thou put away evil from Israel. Sounds great to me. If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband, right? Basically engaged, that's what they would call it in a society, and a man find her in a city and lie with her, then you shall bring them both out into the gate of that city, and you shall stone them with stones that they die. Why? The damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he have humbled his neighbor's wife. So thou shalt put away evil from among Israel. Meaning she was with it. She didn't cry out. She didn't mind that it took place. Verse 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. Why wouldn't she get judged? Why wouldn't she get judged? Let's continue to read. But unto the damsel thou shalt not do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. Go ahead. Salakia.
We have imitation vanilla in gallons.
1 second. I'm going to read that again. Salakia says, but verse 26, but unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. Meaning she didn't want it to happen. Okay? But it took place anyway because the man overpowered her. But she did not want it to take place. So she wasn't worthy to be put, she wouldn't be worthy to be put to death. Verse 28, and if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, here go the key 1. Verse 28, and if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he have humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. You know, why would he be paying the father 50 shekels? Because the Lord was taking the man was taking property of the father, you know, which is his daughter. Okay, But this man, right, he wasn't put to death if he found a virgin and he laid hold on her. Was he? No, he was not. No, he was not. Matter of fact, let's go to that. What's that? Deuteronomy 22. Like I said, this is just a quick hit through the spirit. You know? You guys like to try to run to this and bring this out. Okay? As this is supposed to back up your BS. No, y'all ashamed of the law of the Lord. Be honest. Verse 28 in the NLT. Suppose a man has intercourse with a young woman who is a virgin, but is not engaged to be married. If they are discovered, he must pay her father 50 pieces of silver. Then he must marry the young woman because he violated her, and he may never divorce her as long as he lives. There is no punishment for that. There is no punishment. Now, when you go into this word, because in this society, what would they consider that as? If you just found a virgin in the city and you lay hold on her, you grab her up and you deal with her, what are they going to say? They're going to say it's RAPE. That's what they're going to say.
Hey, I apologize. I have calls back to back. Did you say we do have it in the gallon or we don't?
Let's go into that word. Look at that.
Strong's H 8610. Tafas.
To catch, handle, lay hold, take hold of, seize, arrest, seize, to be captured, to be taken, to catch, grasp with hands. There you go. Okay, so at the end of the day, y'all ashamed of the gospel, right? And you're trying to play games and you're trying to use these different words that's associated with the world, how the way the world puts it, you know, but there's an ancient way of how we done things in Israel, our customs and manners. Don't pick and choose which one you want to apply and which ones you want to dismiss. Okay, and I'm saying that as far as bringing up historical facts and biblical ways. Now, when you're dealing with far as doing things in the society, you must understand, like I said again, what Paul was saying. Everything is lawful unto me, but everything is not expedient. So there's certain things you can do, you know,
Right.
and other things that you just cannot do. Okay, use some damn common sense. Shalom.